Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Scott to Grow Podcast. Welcome to our Fantastic Beasts 2 Crimes of Grindelwald movie review. I just got back from seeing the movie this morning and I liked it. It's probably not my favorite in the Harry Potter franchise or the Wizarding World franchise, as they've now called it with the addition of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. But I still really liked it. I might even liked it a little bit more than the first one, but I'm going to go into that now. I'm going to try to avoid any spoilers as best I can, but for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I advise maybe not sticking around just in case. You've got my main thing. I liked it. If you like Harry Potter, you'll probably like this one too. But that being said, yes, I'm probably going to spoil a little bit going into this review, but I'll try to avoid the big points. But yeah, like I said, I liked this movie. I enjoyed it. It was a brief, barely 2 hours, just under 2 hour movie, and the pacing of it I really enjoyed. Was good. It kept me, didn't feel like a 2 hour movie, so that's always a plus. That's one of the first things I notice in a movie, if I felt like it was dragging on or if I felt like bored. Because when I go to the cinema, I'm in a little bit, I don't want to say I'm in a rush, but I don't want to spend my whole day at the cinema. So if a movie feels like it's dragging on, that's when I'm like, And so this one did a pretty good job of kind of keeping you moving throughout the story, keeping different action sequences and different story sequences throughout the movie to keep you kind of invested in the movie while it kept going. You weren't looking at your watch being like, is this over yet? But that being said, it also had a few it was hard to kind of tell where you were in the movie at the same time, because there's just so much it was one thing after another, which I like about a movie, but it was a lot. Like me trying to remember right now what happened in this movie, it's hard for me to pick out like one or two specific things, because a lot happened, just like a lot happened in this movie. Like I said, they didn't take much time in this movie to sit down and just relax for too much, but they did a couple times, I guess, now I'm thinking back on it. But yeah, overall, like I said, I enjoyed this one. The aesthetic of the world felt like a Harry Potter movie. The Fantastic Beasts have done a great job in like making you feel like you're in the Harry Potter Wizarding World while still having their own aesthetic. It's a little bit darker, just a little bit darker than the Harry Potter films, but a little bit more akin actually to the later Harry Potter films, with that kind of darker tones and lighting. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. One thing I did notice in this one is they have a little trouble keeping continuity of certain architecture in these movies, and I kind of get it. It's hard to get the exact same set again, but certain things like the Ministry, the British Ministry of Magic in this movie looks a lot different than the one we saw in the Harry Potter franchise a few times. But even in that franchise itself, it changed a dozen times. Well, not a dozen times, it's max 8 times, but yeah, it changed a few times throughout that. So the fact that we got a different version of it in this makes a little bit of sense, especially since it's 60 years in the past, 40, 60. They flashed a time stamp at one point. I may have missed it, to be honest. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. They did a great job of bouncing between the continents, but we spent a good amount of time in Europe, which felt a little bit more Harry Potter for whatever reason. It felt a little bit more akin to the Harry Potter movies from before. So I like that part of it. The characters, they're all great. Most of them are back from Fantastic Beasts. We got a couple new characters. But yeah, they're all good. I like that in this one we get we get a couple flashbacks and we see like a young Eddie Raymond, what's his name? Newt, a young Newt, and I thought the actor who played it, I don't know his name, but I thought the ones who played the young versions did a great job of that. They looked, especially with the little mannerisms of Newt, played by so bad with names, I'm just going to move past that. But I thought all the characters did a really great job. I liked the young Dumbledore played by Jude Law. I thought he had that charm. Yeah, that same kind of like mysterious kind of charm and confidence that the Dumbledore we all know from the original Harry Potters. So I felt they did a good job of encapsulating that. If he had a little bit of smirk, a little bit more like arrogance in his confidence, but that's part of being younger. But I still enjoyed I liked his kind of relationship with Newt. I liked seeing him teaching a class. That was just a fun little scene. But yeah, overall I really enjoyed the characters. The plot of the film was interesting. It kept me pretty invested and intrigued. I'm really curious to see the next one. There's obviously going to be at least one or two more. Which is one thing I could say maybe some people's complaint about this movie is it does very much feel like a middle movie, whereas certain things aren't completely 100% resolved, but at the same time I like that because that's a little bit of a mystery. It keeps me being like, oh, what's going to happen in the next one? So, but I could also see why some people maybe wouldn't see this as being a complete story, but I thought overall it did a good job of having a beginning, middle, and end. So yeah, but overall I like this movie. I would recommend it to those who are already fans of the Harry Potter franchise, whether it's the books or the movies from before. If you saw the first Fantastic Beasts and you liked it, might as well see this one too, to see where that story and the characters go, especially if you like the characters from the first one. And if you like the Fantastic Beasts, this one has a few more new Fantastic Beasts that it introduced, which I thought were pretty cool. And it had the same great visuals that we've gotten from pretty much all the Harry Potters previously. So that was really cool. And, you know, with updated technology, it's even better. So yeah, I'd recommend this to people who are already fans and knowledgeable of the Harry Potter franchise and already like it, or the Fantastic Beasts franchise and already like it, and just those people who saw the trailers and were intrigued to see it. But other than that, if you have no interest in Harry Potter, no interest in the wizarding world, then you might not enjoy this, because this is all wizards. I wouldn't say there's much for people who aren't already fans of this type of movie. So yeah. But that's my overall review for Fantastic Beasts 2: Crimes of Grindelwald. But be sure to let me know in the comments below what you all thought of the movie, if you've seen it. But thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.